Morning, everybody. You know, every week Sheree Clark from Fork in the Road comes here and she gives us ideas of living our best lives, Jackie, about what we can do, how to keep moving and to keep the attitude positive, which is really important.
Absolutely.
Okay, and some other things we can do to make sure that we're living life at its fullest.
Absolutely. Well, here's why I'm here. We all fall off sometimes, right? All the things I talk about every week, these are things we know we should be doing.
Right,
and then what happens is even the best of us, even me, I fall off. Things will start happening and things get busy in my life. So here's what I brought for you today.
So, for example.
Oh, perfect. Today's example. I had this on today, and you might be wondering, why is she showing us lingerie? It's not. This is my yoga top.
Okay.
I went to yoga this morning. You know I used to go to yoga all the time.
Right.
I stopped. This summer.
So a good habit that you were into on a regular basis, you quit doing.
I quit doing. I was going every week. I was diligent. I was like every day. And I got travel. I got busy. Some things happened. You skip a day. You skip 3. You skip a week and a half. And I fell off. And I thought to myself, I have to decide whether or not this is important enough for me to make a priority, because here's what happened. I was feeling guilty. And it's one thing to not do something, it's another thing to beat yourself up over it. So on top of the not going, I was compounding it by feeling badly.
Right.
So I started going. I'm on week 2.
Okay.
I'm here to tell you about it today because I feel more solid. I don't feel shaky. Day 1, day 2, you're feeling a little bit like this isn't going to stick.
I think you hit a word that I've learned more as I get older in my days, priority. If I don't make it a priority, it doesn't happen, or something falls off, as you mentioned. So you have to kind of pick and choose, because there's only so many hours in the day. What are your priorities? What do you need to make you is it your best self, your happiest self? What are we looking at here?
Yes, well, here's the thing. It'll vary at different times for different people based on the stage you're at in your life. So for me, the key is it something that you're feeling guilt about, like you're not doing, and so you're being driven by something negative? Or is it something that you know you'd feel better if you did?
Right.
And so that's your motivation. For me, yoga was just that.
Huge.
Yeah, I knew I wasn't feeling as good as I used to, and I longed for that.
Is it an everyday occurrence now?
It's every day, 6 days a week.
6 days a week. Okay.
Yeah, and that's been huge. And it took me a while to feel like I could say that now and say I'm solid on it, I'm back on it. And you know, again, you have that guilt thing. So one thing leads to another. So when you're not doing your exercise practices, when you're not moving your body, you may be less likely to eat good food. That had been a side effect for me as well. So now at night, I steam my vegetables. So I brought you some cauliflower and a little bit of Brussels sprouts.
Okay.
Every night before I go to bed, I steam vegetables so I've got them for the next day.
You're ready to go.
It's ready. I'm ready to go. And see, these two things work together. You feel better on the yoga mat if you've eaten well the night before. Pizza the night before yoga, not a good combo.
Right.
And then that leads into other things like supplements. I take some vitamins. I also do some things like probiotics and digestive enzymes. You get off of those, and all of a sudden, see how it's becoming
slowly
a slippery.
gets back at you.
Yes, it's a slippery slope.
But is it also natural? Like you can be so passionate about something, but then maybe seasons change, or your lifestyle changes, or work changes, something that it's natural to fall off.
It's very natural to fall off, absolutely. And a lot of times what happens is we fall off because something gets in the way. Holidays come up, travel, somebody's getting married, you're going to be in a production, so your schedule gets interrupted. So here's the key for me. When that happens, if you're determined that you're going to stay on your good, healthy habits, one of the things that I'm happy to do is to say it doesn't have to always be 100%. For example, I might not have fallen off my yoga wagon had I been okay with, let's say if I have a busy schedule, I go for a shorter amount of time. Or I go and do things a little bit differently. I still show up. Maybe all I do is have time to get on the mat and do child's pose. But just simply holding that space for your good practice.
Right.
If I don't have time to steam vegetables fresh every night, I'll do a week's worth and freeze some of them, whatever.
But have them done.
Have them done. Find a continuum. Find the least possible thing that will still work.
Making an effort.
Making an effort.
Okay, so what are some other examples that you brought in today?
Well, you know, creativity, practicing our creativity.
Right.
Journaling is one of those things. So what I did was I combined two things. I have been journaling, and our own Michelle Brown would be very proud of me
Yes,
for
she
this.
would.
I've been journaling.
This is journaling.
This is journaling for me. And so what this is I have used some craft paper, and what this is not just journaling and creativity, it also serves a purpose, because I'm a practical girl. This is wrapping paper. This is going to be used to wrap a gift. I have for a birthday gift I have for a friend later this week.
So this is going to tell a story too. I would imagine this tells a story. I wonder who that is. That might be Lotus. I'm just saying.
That's exactly right.
But you look at the different stories it tells, but at the same time, you're going to be able to pass the story to someone else by using it as another purpose.
And she knows she's been in my thoughts. She's been on my mind, and so we've got something now to bond over, which is another best practice. We don't take time for our relationships, and our relationships, you mentioned one of my primary relationships is Lotus. So I brought my little kitty toy. One of the things that I like to do is create time during the day to play with my animal. I like to have a good experience with him, even if it's 5 minutes, just some pet time, snuggle time.
Yeah, you don't want it's so easy to blow off your pets, and you really shouldn't do that.
No, it's why do we have
Why do you
them?
have them in the first place? Thank you.
And what happens is you know, you read on Facebook or on any social media, every day someone's pet is going. And so that's going to be your pet someday. Doesn't it make sense to enjoy them while they're here?
No question.
And you get something out of it. So, Jackie, I brought a couple other goodies for you to some other suggestions on the far right. That's a book I'm reading right now.
Okay.
Remember, we know we should read, we know we should learn, lifelong learning. You'll hear me talk about that all the time. I like this book. I'm enjoying it right now. It's Marie Forleo's new book, Everything is Figure-Outable. That's a kind of a practical.
I like that word.
And she lives by it. It's great. She's a really dynamic lady, and I really like her. That's kind of a self-help book. What I do, I alternate that with fiction. And so that way I mix it up, and that'll keep me from falling off that track. Another thing right there in the middle, and I know, Jackie, you're a big fan of taking care of your skin.
Yes.
Now, I don't go to bed without washing my face, ever. But one of the things that I do fall off on is, oh, I should do the serum. Oh, I should use my gua sha. Oh, I should do these things. Face yoga, whatever it is. I'm too busy.
Face yoga?
Face yoga.
We'll talk about that later, okay.
But making a commitment to do those things. And then finally, I just bought new sheets this week.
Oh, I love new sheets.
Me too. It's change of season, and that represents a lot of things.
What thread count?
I don't know what the thread count is. They're organic.
Okay.
I touch. I'm not a snob about it. I like linen and I like organic cotton. And so this one is my commitment to getting enough sleep. It's also my commitment to making my bed every day. Because when I make my bed in the morning, I've started right out of the gate with an accomplishment. So best practices, if you've fallen off of yours, you can get back on them very easily. Just do one at a time.
Now, you mentioned making your bed, and that's something that's we've talked about before. Something as simple as making your bed. You said it's an accomplishment for the day. You have a task, and you can put a check mark next to it. But at the same time, when you're going to bed at night, your bed is ready to go.
Yes.
And it's a sense of relief for a lot of people, saying, "Okay, now I'm prepared."
And it's closure.
Right.
You pull those sheets back, which is another best practice. Have a wind down routine. You know, for me, I have to get off of the screen at least an hour or two before I go to bed, or else I'm up. You know, you get on social media, you know, the bunny hole. You'll get sucked right down there real quick. So you have to be cautious about that. And my other bedtime routines, I read at night. Now I'm doing my face routine. So it's the little things that can signal for you that's the trigger to do the stuff we know we need to be doing.
Right.
Right. All right. Put it in your schedule. Do what you have to do. But as you mentioned, I love you said it there at the end. Pick one at a time. Don't feel like you have to attack everything all at once.
Exactly.
Great advice this morning, Sheree. If people want to follow along with what you're talking about, maybe share best practices they hope to get back into, how can they do so?
I would love that. You could email me at fork-road.com, info@fork-road.com, or go to my website, which is www.fork-road.com. And I would love to hear, because I'm ready for something new. I got these
I
ones.
want something new in my life.
I want something new, a new best practice.
And I also understand you're doing something later on tonight, correct?
I absolutely am. I am speaking this evening. I am doing a presentation at the Healthy Living facility over on 100th Street in Urbandale. It's at 5:30. It's free to the public, and I'm calling it "What Else It Takes to Be Healthy." So I'm not just talking about food and movement. I'm talking about all of the things, much like this.
All inclusive.
All inclusive. I hope that you'll come.
All
Wonderful.
Right. Okay, healthy for life. So maybe it's Brussels sprouts.
Going for it, yeah.
Exactly.
Better breakfast day.
There it is.
We're in it.
Thank you, Sheree Clark.
You're welcome, Lou.
We'll be back in just a bit. This is Iowa Live. I'm going to have some cauliflower.